I never thought I'd smile while watching handcuffs snap shut on someone's wrists. But damn if it wasn't the sweetest sight when they dragged that entitled bitch off my property. It started with a single email, her forged deed attached like it was no big deal, claiming my slice of paradise in Malibu was hers to trash. And just when I thought betrayal couldn't cut deeper, she turned my villa into her personal circus of excess, inviting every fake influencer and Wall Street shark to piss all over the life I'd built from nothing. You know that feeling when the world tilts just a little too far, and suddenly your American dream feels like a bad joke? Yeah, that's how it hit me on a sweltering Tuesday in July, right in the middle of my LA office grind. I'm Alex Rivera, 38, the kind of guy who bootstrapped his way from a cramped Queens apartment to owning a tech startup that's got VCs salivating. Hard work, late nights coding apps that actually solve real problems, like connecting foster kids with mentors, and boom, by 35, I cashed out enough to buy that villa. Not just any villa, a sprawling 4-bedroom stunner on Malibu's cliffs, with infinity pools overlooking the Pacific, teak decks for sunset barbecues, and a wine cellar stocked with bottles older than my regrets. It was my sanctuary, my fuck you to the doubters who'd called me, that spit kid with big ideas. I'd met Karen Leong at a Silicon Valley mixer 2 years back. She was the poster child for the new wave of diversity hires gone rogue. A 42-year-old CEO of a fintech startup called Apex Lending, all sharp bob haircut, power suits, and that fake-ass smile that screams, "I got mine, now hand over yours." We bonded over bad sushi and worse small talk about disrupting the system. She was sharp, yeah, but there was always this undercurrent like she was sizing you up for how much she could squeeze out of you. "Alex, you're the real deal," she'd say, batting those lash extensions, while her eyes flicked to my Rolex like it was her next bonus check. I ignored it. Hell, I even invested $200K in her company after she pitched it as empowering underrepresented borrowers. Underrepresented? Please. Her board was wider than a country club brunch. Fast forward to last spring. My startup's IPO was humming along, and I was prepping to list the villa. Nothing desperate, just cashing in on the market while it was hot. That's when Karen called, voice all honey and urgency. "Alex, emergency board meeting. Apex is tanking. Regulators sniffing around our loan practices. I need a personal loan, off books. Collateral? I'll sign whatever." I should have hung up. But loyalty's a bitch, especially when you've shared too many late-night vents about imposter syndrome. I wired her $500K, no questions, against the villa's deed as security. Dumb? In hindsight, yeah. But in the moment, it felt like helping a friend. Weeks turned to radio silence. Then that email. Subject, Villa transfer confirmation. Attached, a PDF that looked legit at first glance. County recorder stamps, notary seals, my signature scrawled in what had to be a damn good forgery. "Dear Alex," it read, "due to default on the loan terms, ownership of the property at 142 Ocean Crest Drive has been transferred to Karen Leong per the attached deed. Effective immediately. Best, Apex Legal." My stomach dropped like I'd chugged bad tequila. Default? We'd never even formalized terms beyond a handshake email. I called her cell, straight to voicemail. Her office? "Ms. Leong is unavailable." Bullshit. I drove to Malibu that afternoon, tires screeching up PCH like I was auditioning for a Fast and Furious sequel. The villa gates were locked, but I had the code, 7-4-1-9, my abuela's birthday. Punch it in, and there she was, Karen, in a neon bikini that did nothing for her roles, lounging by the pool with a mimosa in hand, barking orders at a crew of movers hauling in crates of God knows what. "Karen," I yelled, storming through the French doors. She didn't even flinch, just adjusted her oversized sunglasses and smirked. "Alex, darling, you're early for the viewing." "Viewing? What the fuck is this?" I waved the printout, heart pounding like a bass drop at Coachella. She sighed, all dramatic, like I was the help interrupting her vibe. "The loan. You missed the repayment window." I had no choice. Lawyer advised full transfer. Her voice dripped with that faux sympathy, the kind Karens reserve for baristas who fuck up their extra foam lattes. I laughed bitter and loud. "Repayment window? We didn't set one. This is my house, Karen. Forge my signature? That's fraud. She stood then, all 5'4" of her wobbling on wedge heels, chin jutting out like a challenge. Fraud? Please. You Latinos always play the victim card. I built this company from scratch, sacrificed everything, while you coasted on grants and pity hires. There was the mask slipping, the casual racism she'd buried under TED Talk buzzwords. I'd heard whispers, her firing Asian devs for not fitting the culture, strong-arming black clients into predatory loans. But hearing it raw, it lit a fuse. Get your shit out, I growled, stepping closer. Or I call the cops right now. Her laugh was a bark, echoing off the glass walls. Cops? On me? Honey, my husband's a partner at O'Malley & Sons. One call, and you're the one in cuffs for harassment. She turned, ass swaying like she owned the horizon, and yelled for her assistant, a poor intern named Mia, who scurried over with an iPad. Mia, escort Mr. Rivera off the premises, and comp him a coffee or something. He looks hangry. Mia's eyes darted between us, apologetic, but she followed orders. As they herded me toward the gate, Karen called after me. Oh, and Alex? The party's this weekend. Invite only. Don't crash it. You wouldn't fit in. I peeled out, knuckles white on the wheel, replaying her words. Victim card? Latinos coasting? That shit wasn't just personal. It was a gut punch to every immigrant story like mine. Abuela crossing the border with nothing but grit, dad welding frames in Detroit factories so I could code in boardrooms. By the time I hit Santa Monica, rage had crystallized into something colder. Revenge. Not the hot-headed kind, but calculated, American style. Lawsuits, leaks, the full takedown. I pulled over at a beachside taqueria, ordered a horchata to cool the fire, and started dialing. First, my lawyer, a shark named Elena Vasquez who'd eaten bigger fish. Alex, if it's forged, we're golden. But we need proof. Proof, right? That's when I remembered the Ring camera I'd installed last year. Motion activated, cloud synced. If she'd been in their forging docks. Back home in my Echo Park bungalow, I logged in. Footage from the past month. Karen's Tesla pulling up at odd hours. Her and some suit-wearing goon rifling through my desk drawers. Jackpot. Time-stamped video of her in my printer, feeding paper, laughing as she inked my name with a shaky hand. This'll teach him to play hero, she mutters to the goon. Elena hooped when I forwarded it. Bingo. Forgery, trespassing, maybe even identity theft. File the complaint tomorrow. But tomorrow felt too slow. That night, scrolling X, the Bird app, I saw her posts. Malibu Magic geotagged to my villa, pics of her new oasis with captions like manifesting abundance. Thanks to strategic partnerships. Nail polish boss babe girl boss. Comments flooded in. Influencers drooling over the views. Her followers, mostly thirsty tech bros and wellness witches, hyping her up. One reply caught my eye. Slay Queen, who's the interior designer? Those vibes are fire. Vibes? She'd already swapped my mid-century modern furniture for gaudy gold accents and crystal chandeliers that screamed nouveau riche insecurity. I couldn't let it slide. Not yet. So I did what any red-blooded American does when scorned. I went public. Anonymous burner account at Malibu Phantom dropping teasers. Heard about the CEO squatting in a stolen villa? Party invite incoming. Stay tuned for the show. It went viral overnight. 10K likes, reposts from gossip accounts like Dumois. Karen clapped back in her stories. Haters gonna hate. This is MY Empire now. Resilience. Oh, honey, you have no idea. The weekend loomed like a storm cloud. Her luxury party, black tie optional, A-listers only, per the invite she'd accidentally leaked via a hacked link. Shout out to my coder buddy Raj. Theme, Apex Ascends. 200 guests, celebs, VCs, her inner circle of enablers. My plan? Crash it, not with fists but facts. Elena had the injunction ready, sheriff's deputies on speed dial. But first I needed eyes inside. Enter Jake, my old frat bro from USC, now a freelance photographer with a drone license. Dude, for 5K, I'll fly that thing through her wine glass. Saturday dawned brutal, 108 degrees, heat wave baking the coast. I suited up in linen slacks and a guayabera, abuela's silver cross tucked under my collar for luck. Drove slow, windows down, blasting Bad Bunny to psych myself up. The villa looked different already. Valet tents, string lights twinkling premature, a catering truck unloading caviar towers. Security goons at the gate, big dudes in ill-fitting tuxes. Eyed me suspicious. Name, one grunted. I flashed a fake invite. QR code courtesy of Raj's hack. Scan clean. Enjoy, sir. Inside was a fever dream of excess. EDM thumping from hidden speakers, guests in sequins and Rolexes air-kissing like they invented hypocrisy. Karen held court by the pool, draped in a red Versace gown that strained every seam, her double chin glistening under the tiki torches. She was holding court, regaling a cluster of wide-eyed millennials with tales of overcoming adversity. I bootstrapped Apex with nothing but vision. She trilled, glass of rose sloshing. Men like Alex? They get handouts. I earned this. I weaved through, pulse racing, nodding at strangers like I belonged. Spotted Mia, the intern, looking miserable in a corner, nursing a seltzer. Hey, I whispered, sliding her a 20. What's the play tonight? She glanced around, guilty. Karen's announcing a merger, using the villa as collateral for buzz. It's all smoke. Smoke. Perfect. That's when she saw me. Mid-sentence, her eyes locked on, face twisting from triumph to fury. You, she hissed, shoving through the crowd. Guests parted like the Red Sea, sensing drama. How dare you show up? This is trespassing. Up close, she reeked of Chanel No. 5 in desperation, sweat beading on her upper lip, foundation cracking. I held up my phone, video paused on her forgery frame. Nah, Karen, this is justice. Smile for the cloud. Her screech cut the music, actual animal rage. Security, get this spick off my property. There it was again, the slur, loud enough for half the party to hear. Gasps rippled out. Phones whipped up, recording. A VC in a bow tie muttered, "Did she just?" Karen doubled down, jabbing a manicured finger in my chest. You think you can humiliate me? I own you. That loan? It was a gift for services rendered. Services? The implication hung ugly, her eyes raking me like I was meat. The crowd shifted, whispers turning to murmurs. Even her enablers looked uneasy. I didn't flinch. Services? Like forging my signature? Or the racist bullshit you've been peddling? I hit play, her voice tinny but clear. This'll teach him to play hero. Jaws dropped. A blonde influencer gasped. Oh my God, is this real? Karen lunged for the phone. I sidestepped, and she stumbled into a waiter, sending shrimp cocktails flying. Chaos erupted. Screams, splatters, guests scrambling for exits like rats off a sinking yacht. But she wasn't done. Rallying, she spun to the crowd, voice cracking with that classic Karen quiver. He's lying. Deep fake. This man's a stalker. Probably jealous because I'm successful, and he's just another affirmative action case. Affirmative action? I'd clawed my way through MIT on scholarships I earned with 4.0s and side hustles. The slur fest continued. Go back to your taco stand, Alex. This is my American now. The video had spread, guests live tweeting, Karen crash, trending by the minute. I felt the shift, the tide turning. Jake's drone buzzed overhead, capturing it all in 4K glory. Then sirens. Elena's doing. Deputies rolling up, lights flashing against the waves. Karen's face drained of color, her empire of lies crumbling in real time. The deputies moved like pros, 6 of them, vests bulging, faces stone cold under the pulsing reds and blues. Ma'am, the lead one barked, a burly Latina with a ponytail that said she'd seen worse than this circus. We've got a call for unlawful entry and fraud. Step aside. Karen froze, mid-rant, her mouth gaping like a landed marlin. For the first time, that ironclad entitlement cracked. Eyes darting to her husband, a weaselly guy in cummerbund, who was already slinking toward the valet with his phone glued to his ear. Unlawful? This is my home, she wailed, clutching her pearls, literal pearls, heirloom ones that probably cost more than my first car. The crowd formed a loose semicircle, a mix of schadenfreude and sheer morbid fascination. One tech bro and a man bun live-streamed it all. Y'all, this is wild. CEO just got ratioed by karma. Likes poured in, comments exploding. Not all Karens, but this one. LMAO. Slurs at a party? 2025 energy. I stood back, arms crossed, letting the show unfold. It felt surreal, like I'd scripted this takedown in a fever dream. The deputy, Officer Ramirez, her badge gleamed. Didn't buy Karen's bluster for a second. Hands behind your back, ma'am. We have a court order for eviction and arrest on suspicion of forgery. She fished zip ties from her belt, efficient as hell. Karen thrashed, her gown ripping at the shoulder, exposing a lacy bra that no one needed to see. You can't. I'm Karen Leong. Apex Lending. We fund your pensions. Call my lawyer. Ramirez just sighed, the way you do with a toddler mid-tantrum. Lawyer up at the station. Now turn around. As the cuffs clicked, Karen's facade shattered. Sobs racked her, ugly, heaving ones that jiggled her frame, mascara rivers streaking her cheeks. Alex, please, she begged, twisting toward me, voice of pathetic whine. It was a mistake. The company. Investors pulling out. I panicked. Forgive me? For old times. Old times? The nerve. Flashes hit me. Her mentoring sessions that were just unpaid labor, her networking invites that left me footing bills while she name-dropped. And the loan? She'd twisted my kindness into a noose. Forgive, I echoed, voice steady for the cameras. You called me a spick, stole my home, threw a rager on my dime. Nah, rough for a bit. The crowd murmured approval, claps even, like it was the finale of a reality show. They march her off, heels scraping the flagstone path, deputies flanking like bookends. Her husband trailed, sputtering legalese into his phone, but even he bailed when a deputy blocked the gate. Sir, party's over. Clear out. The guests scattered, some with hurried apologies. Great story, Alex. DM me. Others ghosting into Ubers, tails between legs. Mia lingered, slipping me a USB drive. Emails. Proof of the loans. She screwed over dozens. Hero of the hour. By dawn, the villa was mine again. Deputies hauling out her crap in black trash bags. Knockoff Hermes bags, half-empty Botox vials, a stack of declined Amex statements. I crashed on a master bed, still smelling faintly of her perfume, and scrolled the fallout. X was ablaze. Arrested Karen topping trends. Memes of her mugshot leaked already. Crying face over a bad Photoshop of a crown. News sites piled on. TMZ with Tech Titan's epic meltdown. Ford's with a dry CEO ousted amid fraud allegations. Apex stock tanked 40% pre-market. Her board issued a terse leave of absence statement. But the real gut punch came Monday. Elena called from court. Preliminary hearing set for Wednesday. She's lawyered up, big guns. Claims coercion. Says you pressured her into the loan. Got character witnesses lined up. Coercion? From me? The audacity burned. I spent the day prepping. Affidavits from Mia, timestamps from the ring, even pulling bank records showing her repayments were just bounced checks. Raj dug deeper. Karen's Apex had been cooking books for months, targeting immigrant borrowers with sky-high rates. Underserved communities, my ass. It was predation dressed as progress. Wednesday's hearing was a zoo. Reporters swarming the Van Nuys courthouse like vultures, mics thrusting like swords. I testified first, voice level, laying out the timeline, the investment, the emergency loan, the ghosting, the forgery. Judge Harlan, a grizzled vet with a mustache like a broom, leaned in, eyes sharp. Mr. Rivera, any prior disputes with Ms. Leong? I hesitated, then spilled. The microaggressions, the slurs at the party. Gasped from the gallery. Karen's lawyer, a slick Ivy Leaguer named Hargrove, objected furiously. Irrelevant. Slanderous. Harlan overruled. Context matters. Counsel. Proceed. Karen took the stand next, a masterclass in deflection. Dressed in demure Chanel. Post-bail glow-up. She dabbed tears, painting herself the victim. Alex was obsessed. pressured me into that investment with threats. The villa? Collateral for his debts, not mine. I forged nothing. It was mutual. Mutual? The woman had my signature down to the flourish. Hargrove produced evidence. Doctored emails, timestamps fudged. My blood boiled. Cross-exam. Elena shredded her. Ms. Leong, explain the video of you signing Mr. Rivera's name. Karen blinked, deer in headlights. Deep fake. AI. Everyone knows that's easy now. The judge wasn't buying. Bail revoked pending trial. Remand. Bam. Gavel like thunder. Karen's wail echoed off the tiles. No. My kids. My life. Her husband bolted without a glance. As deputies led her away, orange jumpsuit this time, no makeup mask. I caught her glare. Put it in 'em. You'll pay, Alex. This isn't over. It felt over, though. Walking out into the SoCal sun, reporters mobbed me. Mr. Rivera, thoughts on the racism claims? I paused, cross-glinting. America's messy, but justice? It's colorblind when you fight for it. Soundbite gold. That night, back at the villa, I hosted my own party. Low-key, real friends. Jake grilling carnitas. Raj spinning reggaeton. Mia toasting with mezcal. Laughter drowned the ghosts. But sleep? Elusive. Karen's words looped. This isn't over. She was right in a way. The backlash hit like a wave. Her stands, die-hard girl boss cult, doxed me, flooding my inbox with hate. Thieving spick ruined a strong woman. Trolls camped my doorstep, egging the bungalow. Apex sued for defamation, a slap job to bleed me dry. Elena countered, but stress gnawed. Nights staring at the ceiling, wondering if I'd poked the bear too hard. Then the twist. A week later, anonymous tip to my email. Attachments from an Apex whistleblower. Screenshots of Karen's slush fund. Diverting diversity grants to her personal spa retreats. Laundering through the villa's events. One file. Her diary app entries. Alex thinks he's better. Latino privilege. I'll bury him. Privilege? The irony choked me. I forwarded to the feds, SEC, DOJ. Let the big dogs loose. Trial prep dragged into fall. Leaves turning in the canyons like my luck. Karen's defense pivoted. Mental health plea, citing burnout and systemic misogyny in tech. Cue the op-eds. Is cancel culture killing ambitious women? Her allies, podcasters, ex-colleagues, painted me the villain, the aggrieved ex with an axe to grind. Ex-wars raged. Free Karen versus justice for Alex. I stayed off-grid, focusing on the Villa Renas, ripping out her gold lame, restoring my abuela's serape wall hangings. Opening arguments dropped like bombs. Prosecutor, Ms. Leong didn't just forge a deed. She forged an empire on lies and hate. Defense, a desperate act by a trailblazer under siege. Karen testified again, Oscar-worthy, trembling voice, tales of childhood poverty in Chinatown, always fighting stereotypes. Jurors ate it up, two nodded sympathetically. My turn, raw, unfiltered. She didn't fight stereotypes. She wielded them like weapons. Call me spick while stealing my legacy. The slurs landed heavy, the room thick with tension. Deliberations stretched 3 days, eternal. I paced the beach, waves crashing judgment. Verdict, guilty on all counts, forgery, fraud, trespass. 5 years, eligible for parole in 3. Karen's collapse was total. Slumped in the dock, howls muffled by a bailiff's hand. No stands left, her feet a ghost town. But victory tasted bittersweet. As I drove home, radio buzzing with recaps, I realized the real cost. Trust shattered like her empire. The villa gleamed under moonlight, mine again. Yet her shadow lingered in the deed's fine print, the faint perfume stain on the rugs. Revenge? Immense but scars. Winter hit L.A. like a reluctant guest. Chilly fog rolling in off the Pacific, turning my victory lap into a quiet grind. The villa was back to rights. Contractors hauling away the last of Karen's tacky upgrades. Sunlight flooding the great room where I'd hung new art. Vibrant murals from local Chicano artists. Bold strokes reclaiming the space. Business boomed. Ironically, my startup's resilience app for whistleblowers went viral post-trial. Downloads spiking as Karen Gate memes kept the buzz alive. Forbes even called, "From betrayal to billions, Alex Rivera's comeback." But Karen? She festered. From county jail, she lawyered up for appeals, flooding the courts with motions. Her husband filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable felony, and the tabloids feasted. Tech queen dethroned. Inside Karen Liang's fall from grace. I avoided the noise, focusing on healing. Therapy sessions unpacking the betrayal, weekends surfing with Jake, mentoring kids at a Boyle Heights coding camp. Don't let him steal your fire, Mijo, my dad advised over FaceTime from Michigan, his voice gravelly with pride. Then spring thawed the ice. Parole hearing announced. Early release possible if she showed remorse. Elena scoffed. Fat chance. Her type doesn't do sorry. But I knew better. Karens like her, they weaponize vulnerability. Sure enough, a letter arrived. Handwritten, postmarked from Wayside on a rancho. Alex, it began, script shaky. I've reflected. My actions were unforgivable, born of fear, not hate. The words I said, they haunt me. Please, testify for my release. For redemption. Redemption? The gall. I crumpled it, but doubt wormed in. What if mercy was a real power move? Abuela's cross weighed heavy. Pertinent, but don't forget. I'm molded over tacos with Raj. His take blunt. Nah, bro. Let her stew. Forgiveness without change is just enabling. He was right. My testimony? A polite no, submitted in writing, detailing the ongoing harassment. Her stands death threats, the graffiti on my gate, thief. Hearing day, virtual, Zoom from hell. Karen in prison grays, hair limp, face fuller from stress pounds. Irony's cruel makeup. Her lawyer pleaded. Ms. Liang's completed anger management, donated to anti-bias orgs. She's a changed woman. Bull. Then her statement. Teary monologue about unpacking privilege, quoting MLK like a Hallmark card. I hurt Alex deeply. My racism was ignorance. I beg a second chance for my daughters. Daughters. The card she always played. My video feed flickered on. I kept it cool. Linen shirt, villa backdrop subtle. Your Honor, remorse isn't words, it's action. Ms. Liang's donations? Payout stunts. Her appeals? Attacks on my character. She stole more than a deed. She stole trust. Denis Parole. The panel, three stern faces nodded. Karen's glare through the screen? Nuclear. Monster, she mouthed. Denied. 2 more years minimum. Fallout was swift. Apex dissolved in bankruptcy. Assets auctioned, including her personal effects. That red Versace gown fetched $500 from a drag queen collector. Her daughters? Relocated to her sisters in Seattle, her custody docs leaked online. Schadenfreude surged. X-threads dissecting her woke-washing, podcasts ranking her among history's top Karens. I guessed it on one, the betrayal files, spilling unfiltered. She wasn't just entitled. She was a bully in heels, punching down while preaching up. But the wind hollowed out. Late nights, I'd wander the villa's decks, Pacific whispering regrets. What if I cut her off sooner? Or never invested? Therapy unpacked it. Betrayal trauma, the Latino tax on success. Always proving, never assuming. Jake dragged me to therapy group. Survivors of white-collar con stories echoed mine. Stolen IPs, gaslit partnerships. It's not you, the facilitator said. A black therapist named Dr. Ellis. It's the system rewarding sharks. Summer 26 brought closure. Final sentencing appeal crushed. Karen transferred to Chowchilla Women's. Hard time for white collar, but fitting. I sold the villa, not out of fear, but growth. Listed at 4.2 mil, closed with a young couple from the valley. Engineers, first home, eyes wide at the views. It's got soul, the wife said, touching the serape. Handover day, I lingered on the bluff, scattering Abuela's ashes I'd saved for this. Kadascansha y murmurat. Rest, yeah, for all of us. Life pivoted hard. Startup acquired by Google. 8 figures, tax-free. I founded a non-profit, Rivera Resilience Fund, grants for underrepresented founders burned by allies. First recipient? Mia, launching her own ethical lending app. Thanks to you, she emailed, I learned to spot the Karens. Karen's last jab came via proxy, a tabloid exclusive from her cell, ghost-ridden sob story. Prison changed me. Karen Leong on race, regret, and the man who destroyed her. Destroyed? Please. I issued no comment, let it flop. Her reformed book deal? Cancelled after fact checks exposed lies. Final nail, DOJ probe uncovered her slush fund ties to election PACs. Another trial pending. Bitter end? Nah. Poetic. By year's close, I was in Miami. New condo, salt air healing. Dating a graphic novelist named Sophia. Her sketches of our adventures framing the walls. No villa ghosts, just horizons. But the scar? It toughens. Teaches. In America, betrayal's the tax on dreaming big. Pay it or get played. One evening, scrolling X, a throwback post popped. Party clip Karen Midcuff. Caption, never forget. I liked it, poured a scotch, and toasted the screen. To the fall, Karen. And the rise, mine. 2 years blurred into a rhythm I could have scripted. Board meetings and board shorts. Non-profit galas under Miami stars. Sophia's laugh echoing through our sun-drenched loft. The villa sale funded it all. Seed money for the fund, which ballooned to 10 mil under management, spotlighting founders like me who'd been allied into oblivion. Media loved the arc. From Malibu Heist to Miami Mogul. TEDx invite followed. My talk, The Cost of Kindness in the Startup Jungle, went double platinum on YouTube. Standing ovations, sure, but backstage? Nausea. Every applause felt like tempting fate. Karen, meanwhile, stewed in obscurity. Chowchilla leaks painted a grim portrait. Commissary fights over stolen commissary. Therapy sessions where she dominated groups with monologues on her innocence. No visitors logged. Husband remarried to a Pilates instructor half his age. Daughters estranged per social media silences. Her memoir, self-published on Amazon, 47 reviews, 3 stars, victim-baiting drivel. I bought a copy, out of morbid curiosity. Pages of revisionist history, me cast as the predatory ex-partner who'd gaslit her into crime. Gaslit? The irony was chef's kiss. Then, early 28, the DOJ hammer dropped. Indictment. Money laundering, election interference, funneling apex dirty cash to PACs pushing tough on immigrant crime bills. Her trial was a circus redux. Federal courthouse in downtown LA, protesters outside waving signs, no justice for Karens. I testified remotely, voice steady. She used my betrayal as a template, preying on trust, then twisting the knife. Prosecutors paraded evidence. Emails plotting deals with lobbyists, villa parties as PAC fundraisers. Karen's defense? Duress from board pressure. Jurors, diverse panel, no fools didn't bite. Guilty. 10 years stacked on her sentence. As the gavel fell, her scream pierced the feed. This is rigged. Alex poisoned it all. Poisoned? Nah, just planted seeds of truth. Post-verdict, I exhaled, decade plus behind bars, her empire ash. No appeals left. Even Hargrove jumped ship. Whispers from insiders. She cracked, babbling to cellmates about curses and Latino voodoo. Pathetic. Sophia sketched it for her graphic novel. Karen as a bloated dragon, hoarding gold that turned to rust. Life sweetened. Fund hit 50 mil. Partnerships with VCs mandating trust audits for investments. Mia Esiap, unicorn status, her TED Talk nodding to me. One-man scar became my shield. Jake married a sound engineer. We DJ'd the wedding. Reggaeton remixes of Karen anthems. Inside joke. Dad visited. Eyes misty at the loft. You did good, Eho. Abuela's smiling. But closure's a myth. Late summer, a package arrived. No return address. Postmark Chowchilla. Inside, burned remnants of the forged deed. Singed Polaroid attached. Karen in orange. Middle finger raised, scrawled note. You win. For now. Creepy? Hell yes. I forwarded to feds, got a wellness check ordered. Her response? Solitary for threats. End of line. Fall brought full circle. I keynote at that Silicon Valley mixer where it started. Same venue, sushi trays untouched. Crowd wrapped as I closed. Betrayal isn't the end. It's the edit. Cut the toxic, rewrite bolder. Q&A, a young dev, wide-eyed. What about the hate? The slurs. I paused, Sophia squeezing my hand off mic. Turn pain to power. America's messy, but it's ours to fix. That night, beach walk, stars pricking the ink-black sky, waves a steady him. Sophia hummed beside me, barefoot in the surf. Proud of you, she murmured. I pulled her close, salt on lips. Us. Always us. Karen? A footnote now. Her name's synonymous with fallout. HR training site, Liang syndrome, the entitled overreach. No redemption arc, just a warning tale. Me? Scarred sure but soaring. From Queen's kid to comeback king, Villa lost but legacy locked. In the end, revenge wasn't the handcuffs, it was living free, unbowed. And if her ghost whispers in the wind, I whisper back, stay mad, Karen. The party's mine.